Hey, I'm Nicole Row. I'm a Los Angeles session and touring bass player, currently working with Panic at the Disco and all over Los Angeles. Okay, so this bass that I'm starting with, this is a Marco bass. I love this one so much. It's like sort of my funk go-to bass that I'll take to like sessions or, Scary Pocket stuff. This bass is funny to me because Marco made me a bass, and then we were at NAMM, I'm at his booth, I had mine, there's this one sitting there, and I just fell in love with this bass, and we basically just traded on the spot. And I remember in the moment somebody looking at the bass he built for me, it was like, can I have it? so who knows what that one is, but yeah. I love this one so much. She's beautiful. Okay, so this, when I was going to school, there's so many things I could say about that, but when I first started going to school, I knew nothing about anything, and an instructor of mine was like, hey, you should check out this bass because your hands are the size of child hands, and but this bass is full scale. And he sent it to me online, and I ordered it off eBay, and it came, and I just latched onto it immediately. I love the tone, I love the touch of it. The action's super low, and the neck width is super tiny at the nut, which is great. But it also has a Sadowski preamp inside of it, which gives it a lot more kick and color, which I love. Way more low end. During COVID, of course, like everyone, I started recording my own original stuff. And I also love camping, which you'll see why this makes sense. I went on this camping trip, with me and my dog for weeks. It was just living out of the car, covered in dirt. It was real rough. But I took this mini setup of recording gear and a bass. And it was just an interface in my laptop, and a converter or an inverter for the car so you can plug stuff in. And I would have it buried under everything in the car, so nobody knew it was there. And there was times where somebody let me sleep on their vineyard on a hill by myself, and I would, late at night, after they got me a little too drunk, I would plug all my shit in, and I'd be sitting just stuck in the car like this, recording, and it was all with this bass on the road, camping. And so that's, if you check out the tune Headspace, it's all outside, basically, or in my car with this guy, so. This is my F bass. I sent them the specs of my Fender Marcus Miller jazz bass, and I was like, neck width, especially at the nut, as close to this as possible, pretending it's a 5-string, right? My other one's a 4. So that took a really long time to negotiate, but obviously they did a great job. It's super tiny for my super tiny hands. Yeah, I love this bass. This is what I play most often now. F bass. Envelope filter for the win, always. Okay, so this bass, this is my Fender 5-string. When I first started playing with Panic, on a lot of the recordings, everything's detuned, like to the maximum, all the bass parts, which is really cool, but I also wanted to be able to transfer the songs onto any instrument, you know, on the fly, or like if some bass was broken in the moment, like you could hand me whatever bass and I'd still be able to play the songs, right? I wouldn't have to worry about tuning or anything like that. So when I went into learning the songs, I just wanted a 5-string so I could play everything on one bass. After I got off from tour with Panic, I just sort of stuck with the 5-string, playing like R&B, soul, funk, all kinds of stuff, and you know, the 5th string just sort of laid nicely into that, so I've kind of fallen in love with it. But this bass is the one that I got for the Panic tour. Obviously there's a few, but this was the first one. Bam. I remember somebody once telling me when I was just only having my jazz bass, they're like, no, Nicole, you have to, you're a bass player, you're a working bass player, you have to own a P bass. And so I got a P bass. My local tech, I don't know if I want to give you guys her name because she's busy and I don't want you to occupy her time. I'm just kidding. Tina at the amp shop. She put this little tone control knob thing that almost creates like different P bass tones. So you'll hear it get crispier. Anyways, all the way. Till it gets real bright. Right? I've actually loaned this bass to people to take into sessions because it sounds really good recorded. It sounds very authentic. So yeah, Bartolini pickups in there. Yeah, she's cool. This bass has been in my closet for a really long time. I got her, oh God, how was I? I was like maybe 21, maybe not. Probably still working off my fake ID, but I worked at a Guitar Center, which was, you know, I'm grateful for the work, but I'm not a good employee when it comes to anything. That's not what I do now. It was working on commission, which I can't sell anything to anyone, let alone sell something I don't think someone should have to them. So I would tell people, you know, this isn't, you know, what your kid needs, or this isn't a good piece, or you could get this cheaper used, or have you heard of reverb, you know, like things like that. So, you know, since I worked there for such a short period of time, I would sneak away into the acoustic room if I needed a minute, and there was one day where I just sat down and I played all the different acoustic basses because they had this pillar in the room so I could hide behind it. And I picked them all up, and I think there was even like a few of these, but I played this one and it was just so much better than all of the other ones. You know, it resonated bigger, warmer, and you know, it's the acoustic bass. I don't play a lot, just, you know, I play with really low action, and this is not set up that way, so it's very it serves a very specific purpose, but this is just such a beautiful instrument. I love it so much.